Demonstrators marched through the streets of Kinshasa, chanting that new self-proclaimed president Laurent Kabila is an assassin who should be hanged. This in the city that largely welcomed Kabila's alliance forces as liberators just days ago. Most bystanders, including Kabila's own soldiers, were indifferent to the calls for the new president's ouster, but the demonstration indicates that for some, the honeymoon may be over. Most of the marchers support popular opposition leader Etienne Tshisekedi, who says the new government is not legitimate until it holds elections.
I don't recognize this government. For me, it doesn't exist, and I ask everyone to ignore it.
Tshisekedi supporters want him named prime minister in a new broad-based coalition government. But Kabila has yet to meet the opposition leader or make him an offer. Those allied with Tshisekedi are growing impatient.
People will refuse to work and will refuse whatever Kabila will ask them to do.
Kabila's new alliance government also faces criticism from the international community over evidence that rebel troops massacred Rwandan refugees and buried them in mass graves. Human rights groups are demanding an investigation. The United States also wants answers.
We have expressed concern a number of times about what we heard and saw about some of the very serious human rights abuses and problems about the way people were dealt with in Zaire, as it was known at that time. And we are going to be looking into this very carefully.
Kabila has kept a low profile since following his troops into Kinshasa earlier this week. He has named a partial cabinet of ministers who are trying to establish order in the newly renamed Democratic Republic of Congo from the confines of a posh Kinshasa hotel. On the streets, the excitement of the revolution appears to be giving way to restlessness. Kabila has yet to address his people, name a new prime minister, or set a date for elections. Kabila is a former associate of the legendary Che Guevara. Like many revolutionaries, he may find it easier to deal with soldiers with guns than with a legion of politicians, diplomats, and human rights observers. Gail Young, CNN, Kinshasa. A triumphant Laurent Kabila ventured forth after days of seclusion, meeting with patients at a general hospital who hailed him as a liberator. The rebel leader turned president revealed his plans for the first time, democratic elections, but not in the immediate future.
Democratic election after 2 years transitional periods. We must prepare to hold elections, you see. We need time.
Kabila has been under pressure from opposition politicians and the international community to quickly transform the newly renamed Democratic Republic of the Congo into a true democracy. He brushed aside criticism that his newly appointed transitional government consolidates his power and does not include a popular opposition leader.
I don't have any answer about it. It is broad-based government. Shall we count individuals? There are 55 million people.
Earlier in the day, dozens of students attempting to protest Kabila were rounded up by visibly irritated alliance soldiers. Those who escaped detention were angry that their demonstration was called to a halt. We don't understand these so-called liberators, complains this student. They dispersed us and took our friends away. A second demonstration, this one in support of Kabila, was allowed to march through the streets of Kinshasa. It was a smaller, though enthusiastic crowd. The vast majority of the people in Kinshasa are not demonstrating either for or against Kabila these early days of the new regime. They are simply going about their lives in a country marked by poverty and failed infrastructure. Kabila himself says he knows that they expect a great deal from his new government.
Lots of things from me and from the alliance.
As he left the invalids of the hospital, he seemed aware that a nation is looking to him to heal its wounds. Gail Young, CNN, Kinshasa.